Hello, trading is closed on September 27th, 2017. Yesterday's prediction was you'd have a gap and a quick move outside of yesterday's range. That worked. Said the odds favored the gap being up. It was. Looked for possibility of a new all-time high, but said as long as it was part of an irregular or an expanded flat, it wouldn't really change the long-term call. So we got the new high, and now we have to see if it's part of the expanded flat or if it isn't. We get to cross this number off the list, the target from September 21st. We get to add this one, 2502.16. We called for a pattern with an early low, which we got. Tomorrow's pattern is the one with the early high. There's a strong tendency to close near the day's high, but if that doesn't happen, it can often just have a straight move down. Here's the MEJT software. Says the move's false. There's your target. We gapped up, hit a bunch of new highs, couldn't hold on to any of them, not even the early high, couldn't even hold on to the intermediate low. It's a negative pattern at any time, but it's particularly negative when you hit an all-time high because it signifies a rejection of the high. It's completely invalidated if we gap up and take out this high promptly. That's quite plausible that we get the gap up because of the wall of selling into the close. But if we don't do that, I'm pretty confident this number will be seen and perhaps a lot more than that. Tomorrow's my change in trend, potential, and date. If this is a high, and we don't know that yet, if it is a high, that's close enough for me. But we could go a bit higher tomorrow without changing anything. Let's take a look at the long-term prediction. We had you've made a number of attempts to call highs here. Thought the market might top out in July at 24.78. That was this high. It held for a while, but that wasn't it. We had 25.08 here. Thought that might hold it based on this Fibonacci ratio. That hasn't held, although this is close enough if we drop from here. If this is A and that's B, C equals A, it's around 25.17.5, something like that. If we go much beyond that on our up move, I'd be a bit suspicious of the whole thing, but I'm going to be somewhat tolerant of a rally to this point. Of course, C could equal a different Fibonacci ratio to A, but then these other numbers would be too far off for me. There is a case for this being a high here. The original idea was you took blue A's height, added it to B's origin, wave C ending at 78.6%, looked like a pretty good target to me. Usually when you gap up, reject the whole thing completely, go under this low, that's often it for the day. So it's quite impressive that we had the rally afterwards. Would have been more impressive had we been able to hold on to this high. Now if that's A and that's B, there's a potential C here. Instead of measuring from the end of wave 5, you measure from the low of the pattern, go up there, and you'll see if you do that, C is equal to A pretty much on the dot. So if we do stop there, it at least has some support, and that would be either the end of red A or brown B. So we're getting close to what I think is the end of this move. Here's my date. We're within a few points of a high. This is possibly a high, but I'll take about 6 or so points over it. If we go much beyond it, I'm suspicious of something else going on. If we gap up and take out this high tomorrow and go much beyond 25.17 in the fraction, I'm going to get suspicious that the whole thing falls apart. If we gap up and we do not go over this high, it's a negative pattern. Lower prices should print. I have great confidence this will be seen. And if we start down from the open, that may be it for the move. So that's today's call.